Good morning, everybody. Oh, hold on, guys. Hold on. I gotta get a cord. Alright, we're good. Okay, guys, I'm only going to be on here for a little bit this morning. We have company, so I was trying to get on here to do something really quick. I'm going to make some homemade butter. You need one ingredient, guys, one ingredient. Whipping cream. Heavy whipping cream. That's all you need. So we're going to open this puppy up. Good morning, everybody. Make sure you have a whisk on your mixer. You can also do this if you have a Cuisinart. Good morning, sis. How are you? You can do this on a Cuisinart. You can do it on if you have a Ninja blender or a KitchenAid mixer or any other kind of mixer that you guys have. So you just dump this in your mixer. Now, the last time I made this, I put my salt in at the end, but we're going to put it in at the beginning. Good morning, Shelly. So, I'm going to take, last time I did 2 teaspoons, and my husband told me it wasn't enough. So, we're going to do a tablespoon. And of course, that's the wrong one. I'm missing everything in the kitchen here. So I'm going to do a tablespoon of salt, y'all. Now, I will tell you that this gets messy, so if you have a KitchenAid mixer, now, once you're done with it, you're going to end up with butter, and you're going to end up with buttermilk. Buttermilk you can put in different recipes, and then you're going to end up with a good butter. So I'm going to put in a tablespoon of salt. Start your mixer on low. And if anybody's ever done whipping cream, you know what happens in the beginning. Good morning, Rebecca. It whips up whipped cream. Then it's going to break down. And once it starts to break down, that part's going to go really fast. It's going to go really fast. Good morning, Charlotte. It's going to combine real quick, and it's going to make a big dollop of butter. So, we might put some other seasonings in it as well. When it gets to the point where it's going to start to make butter, that's when you need to put a towel around your mixer because it's going to start coming up and it's just going to get everywhere. Trust me, I did it. I'm going to put in a little bit of garlic powder. I know, I should have used the measuring spoon. Probably about 1/4 of a teaspoon, guys. 1/4 of a teaspoon. Then we're going to add a little bit of black pepper. About that much. About that much. Okay, I'm going to kick this up on high. So last time I made it, my husband said it didn't have enough salt in it, so I added more salt this time. And so last time I used it for recipes with unsalted, that needed unsalted butter. Hey Pamela, how are you? I got to show you guys something. So my nephew and my niece are here from New Jersey, and he bought, so this looks like a flour sack. Hi Bethany. It says bake like you give a shit. Isn't that cute? bake like you give a shit. So I didn't want to open them until I showed it to everybody. Isn't that adorable? Something new for the kitchen. Okay, we're almost to whipped cream. We're almost there, guys. Hey, Bethany. And if my sister-in-law is on here, she had a birthday the other day. Hey, Ruthie, happy birthday. I mean, I wish you a happy birthday, but I wasn't on that day. Hi, Bethany. Hi, Pieces of Candy. How are you? Okay, guys. We're at the full peak of whipped cream right now. So in about 2 minutes, maybe not even that, it's going to break down and it's going to start building the butter. So I'm going to put this on right now. I'll wait for a minute. As soon as I see that starting to break down, I'm going to put the lid over it. Hi, Sammy. How are you? I think my husband's out planting trees. While we're waiting for that, you're going to need a bowl of ice water. Hey, sis. How are you? So I have some ice here, and or water, and I put some ice in it. Because after it becomes butter, you got to put it in an ice bath. And I'll scoot you guys back and show you that. I think I have enough butter and enough, I can smell, not butter, the garlic and the salt. I'm a little off today, guys. I went to bed late. And I almost had you set up. I had everything ready. My niece came through. I was like, ah. Okay, we're broke down, so I'm going to put this on, guys. And then we'll just have to keep peeking. Hi, Rocky. How are you? So, we're going to break this down. Hey, Cheryl. I paid $2.49 for this at Aldi's. So I paid $2.49. I should get a pound of butter, and then I will get almost a full container of buttermilk. So if you buy real butter, and you buy a pound of it, you already know what you're going to pay for it. Probably, if you get it on sale, $3.99. If not on sale, $5 to $6, right? Buttermilk's very expensive. So by making this, I'm going to get almost a whole, what is this, a pint or a quart? This is a pint. So I would get almost that, and a pound of butter for the $2.49. So that is, if I say if you can make it for a savings, that's definitely a savings. It just takes a little bit of your time. If you have the time to make it, then why not make it? Because then you're also saving. Like yesterday, I made homemade pancakes. I could have used that buttermilk for the pancakes, but I didn't have it yesterday, you know. So you can put buttermilk almost in everything. Anything that you bake, if you want to substitute out the milk, put the buttermilk in if you want. So actually, you're getting two things for one price. Hey Bethany. Hi Holly. What else can I? Trying to think. There was something else I made that you could do too of. Hi Susie, how are you? Anyway, once the butter comes out, we're going to put it in this water bath. And then you have to squeeze and get it all and let it soak in there for a little bit and keep squeezing it and squeezing it. You kind of work it with your hands. So that's what, once it gets done in the bowl, I'll bring it over here and we'll do it over here. A friend of mine said she did it in a jar and she just kept shaking and shaking and shaking. I said to her, how long did that take you? And she was like, forever. I was like, there's no way. I would have gave up on it. I wouldn't have shooken it. Hi, Tammy. I guess I could try it in my Ninja one time and instead of my KitchenAid. And you guys can put whatever you want. If you want unsalted, you don't have to add anything. If you want different seasonings, hi Renee, how are you? You can put whatever you want into it. If you want, after it comes out, if you don't want to put it in before, after it comes out, you can add fruit or whatever into your butter, cinnamon, sugar, whatever you want to add into it while it's still soft. I gave some away at Christmas time with a bunch of homemade cookies, and I just gave a stick of butter, wrapped it up, and had a nice little thing on it, and gave butter away with some jam and cookies. Keep listening for the door. The 20s will be here this morning. They're coming with their mom. Hi, Wanda. How are you? Hey, Linda. She's almost ready, guys. She's almost ready. The very first time I made this was last year, the very first time, and I did not have the towel on it. I mean to tell you, I had stuff everywhere. I mean, everywhere. But it's splashing. Hi Elizabeth, we're making homemade butter with one ingredient. One ingredient, guys, whipping cream. This is all you need. And then you can put whatever seasonings you want. You'll get a pound of butter, and then you will get, oh, thanks for the flash bulb. You'll get a pound of butter and you'll get almost this whole container of buttermilk, guys. I don't know. Can you see the splashes? Oh yeah. It's almost done, guys. I'm going to shut this off and take a real quick peek. Not quite. Almost. We're not there yet. It's hard to see when you have a towel over it. We're done. See how quick that went, guys? And my mixer is a nightmare, but that's quick. Look at this. See that? There's your butter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this off, and then I'm going to get in there with my hands. I should have took my rings off, but I didn't. Oh, well. Okay. Make sure you get it all, guys. You spent all that time, you want to make sure you got it all. All right, in this goes. Here we go. Just get your hands in there and start squeezing out that buttermilk. Well, you know what? I kind of messed up. I probably should have put my spices in afterwards, because now my buttermilk has... Good morning, Susie. Uncle Bud wants to know what to do. Uncle Buck wants to know what you do. What you do with what you cook. Okay, so the butter I will use for anything that I make. Whenever I'm making cookies and stuff like that, my son works at a very large crab house. So I send them what. Okay, guys, I squeezed out the buttermilk. Okay, my mistake is don't put your seasonings in, because now my buttermilk has garlic in it. So the only thing I'm going to be able to use that for is biscuits. Okay, guys? It'll work for biscuits, but that's it. So don't do that. Put it in when it's like this, okay? But back to Uncle Bucky. So I give it to my son, and he takes it to work and shares it with all the kids, not just kids, but adults. There's a lot of people that work there. I mean, they serve like 1,200 people sometimes a night. So there's a lot of people that work there. So just keep putting this, guys, into the ice and roll it around. And that's what I do with all of it. My husband says get it out of the house, because if it's in the house, he's going to eat it. I think everybody knows what that's like, right? So just keep working it with your hands. Hi, Val. And look, you guys got a pound of butter. Now, I'm going to put this back in here for a minute, and I'm going to get a towel. So, don't do what I do with the seasoning, because now my buttermilk, the only thing it's good for is a savory dish. I should have put my seasonings in after I whipped it up. I wasn't thinking. I just put it in. And so now my buttermilk is only good for savory. I cannot use it for baking. But that's okay. I'll use it. I'll make biscuits. So the next thing I'm going to do is get a piece of parchment. And you don't have to use parchment. We're making homemade butter, guys. Mm-hmm. You can use wax paper. You can use whatever you have. Whatever you have and you want to use, that's what you use. I'm all about using, not buying and wasting. And if anybody knows me on here, and a lot of people do, you know I don't waste. I do not believe in wasting. So, okay, so the ice, just squeeze it out some more. That's it. So I'm going to put it on here now. I'm going to cut this because I want to make a couple logs. And then I'm going to put in, hi Lori, hi JW, I'm just going to put this in the fridge. Let me dump this water. I'm kind of bummed that I did that with my buttermilk. I was going to use it. Oh well. Now, you can cut this into 4 equal, guys, 4 equal. And now see, there's still buttermilk. So let me get a paper towel. Get a paper towel. And I'm going to squeeze this some more. It's almost like, remember when we made the cheese? Good morning. Good morning, JW. It's almost like when we make the cheese, guys. When we make the mozzarella cheese, you got to get that out of there. So just let me get some more paper towels. Yesterday I made, first time ever, I made gluten-free homemade pancakes. I was a little worried because I had never made them before. Hey Jackie, how are you, hun? Because sometimes when you make stuff like that, I'm afraid it's going to be like dry. So, all right, this one seems good. Now, this big block, my husband loves butter. He loves butter. He loves homemade butter. So, I am not going to roll these as small as they would be like you would get in the store. Instead of getting 4, I'm only going to do it in 2s because if my husband knows there's homemade butter, he's eating that. He's not eating anything else. Trust me. Just keep patting it down until you feel like I'm on the way. Hey, there you go, Meg. Okay, guys. So I don't know if these are equal, but boy, do they smell good. I wish there was smell-o-vision because figure this is already seasoned. It's already seasoned. You can see the pepper. I can smell the garlic. So, there's our 2. And that's what you end up with. You can get 4, just like these are really big. You can get 4 if you want. But like I said, my husband, he will devour this butter in no time. Trust me. And then I just start at the corner and give it a roll, guys. That's all I do. Fold in the ends. Fold in the ends, and we're good to go. And you got homemade butter. Simple as that. Hey, David. Simple as that. Now I get to clean up my mixer, right? Simple as that. So, you end up with this, and let me get a jar. Let me get my jar. I get these from Arizona. I love these things. They still have a milkman there. And my niece knows that whenever I come to Arizona, she has them sitting there and waiting for me. Of course, my husband says, how many bottles do you need, woman? Well, each one has a different, it has a different thing on the front. So I'll take whatever I can get. Okay, so I'm just going to strain this in case there's any little fragments of butter. I got to show you my buttermilk, right? Even though it's savory buttermilk. Has anybody ever heard of savory buttermilk? Maybe it's a new invention. And there's my buttermilk, y'all. But it's only good for savory dishes. So you can, so when I say savory dishes, let me wash my hands real quick. When I say savory dishes, anything like biscuits, I can use this in biscuits. You could use this in a cream sauce. Anything like that you can use it in. Anything savory. You know, if you want to make a chicken pot pie and you want to thicken up the broth with some buttermilk because it's already got the salt, it's got salt, pepper, and garlic in it. So I just have to remember that I can't use this for baking, and that's generally what I do. But now I will use it as a savory dish. Actually, I can use this to make my noodles. I can use this to make noodles too. So anything savory, don't do what I do when you make it. Add your stuff in when you first pull the butter out before you put it in the ice bath, because the ice bath starts to stiffen it up. So, and then once it goes in the refrigerator, it's going to become hard as a rock, just like real butter. So, if you want to use your buttermilk for baking and not for a savory, add your seasonings in when you pull your butter out with your hands. And that's it, guys. I don't know if I'll be on tomorrow. Hi, Oreo. Hi, Tanya. Fantic. I don't know if I'll be on tomorrow. I might get up extra early and get on and do something. So I'm going to sign off for now and clean up my kitchen. Hi, artist. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Love y'all. Bye. Bye, Susie. Tell Uncle Bucky I said hi.